We will now take a look inside the reservation. So I can click on the calendar and click into reservation details. It should bring up our reservation page. At the top of the page, you're going to see the name of the guest. The reservation number is right underneath, and then you have this long white bar. You'll see the check-in date, check-out date, how many nights the reservation is, when the reservation was made, how many guests, estimated arrival time, where the reservation comes from, and so on. The rest isn't as important. All the way at the end, you're going to see if there is a balance due. This is an incoming reservation, as we can see here in this upper right-hand drop-down menu. When I click that, we can see we can change the status of the reservation. We have confirmed, confirmation pending, canceled, in-house, checked out, and no-show. We have a guest status. If someone is not to extend or reserve again, we're able to mark that here. And we have the Actions tab. Now, moving down, we have another long line of tabs. The first shows us the accommodations inside of this reservation. If we go down, we're going to see that this reservation has a single mixed dorm. There's nothing else we can highlight. We'll see where the room is assigned, who is in it, again the arrival and departure, how many guests, how many nights, the total of the rooms, whether it is occupied, and then we have a list right down here of how we can edit the reservation. Up next in the tabs, we'll see Folio. This is where we take payment for the reservations. You can see we can add or refund payment under this button, and right next to it you can add charges to the reservation. We'll be going here if we ever sell something specific to a guest, like a bike rental, or any of the extra items that we offer at the front desk. Right next to the Folio is where we can access the guest details. It immediately pops up guest info. This is where we enter our ID information. You'll hit edit details, you can highlight, scan your ID, and all the information should pop in. At the end of that, you're going to want to upload the image of the ID, and all the way at the right hand side on the bottom is the save button, which you'll click to make sure everything stays there. Underneath our top list of tabs, you're going to see a secondary list. We have guest info, and then we have guest notes. The guest notes is where we have a history of this guest profile, all the reservation notes that we have entered for this guest in any stays they've made through this profile. Up next, we have the credit cards page. This shows whatever credit card is logged in this reservation. Every reservation should have a credit card, barring the Airbnb and Agoda reservations. The logs are here too, but we don't keep track of that so much. Then we have the reservation notes. We saw in guest details there were guest notes. These are notes specific to this reservation. So when you process a reservation, this is where the notes are going to go. So we can see how a reservation came in and how it may change later on. Moving to the right, we're going to the documents page. This is where any generated invoices are going to pop up. When the reservation is made, it will immediately make an initial invoice that shows how the reservation looks in the beginning. There is a way to generate new invoices that show any extra activity, any payments, and then you'll be able to send these invoices to guests as requested. Up next, we have Reservation Activity. This shows any changes that have occurred on a reservation and who made them. So you can see the date and times of any changes, you can see the user that made the changes and what the changes might have been. Towards the bottom, you're going to see that mostly it's the system that starts out creating the reservation. And last here, we have the email messages. This shows any emails that have been sent to the guests. So we can see here the very first email was our confirmation email, and then we have a reminder email to let people know 3 days before the reservation that they have a stay here. So if they need to make any changes or cancellations, that is the time to do it. Alright, we'll continue on in the next video.